If you're starting from zero in 2026 and you feel behind, overwhelmed, or honestly kind of embarrassed about money, this video is for you. Because what you do first matters more than anything else. Most people watching this aren't lazy. They're not stupid. They're just exhausted from advice that doesn't fit their real life. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you've got $500 saved and it keeps disappearing. Maybe you hear people talk about investing and it feels like a foreign language. And every year that passes, the pressure gets worse. You start thinking, I should be further by now. Here's the truth nobody says clearly. Most financial advice is built for people who already have momentum, not for people starting from zero. So in this video, I'm going to give you a realistic starting point. No hype. No 6 streams of income. Just a clear roadmap for what actually works when you're starting with $0 to $5,000 in 2026. And I want to say this up front. You are not late, but you do need to start differently. Let's talk about why the usual advice fails beginners. You've probably heard things like, just invest early. Max out your retirement accounts. Let your money compound. That sounds great, but it assumes you already have extra money at the end of the month. Most beginners don't. They're juggling rent, groceries, gas, debt, and random emergencies that pop up out of nowhere. So when someone tells you to invest $500 a month, it feels like advice from another planet. The real issue isn't that you're bad with money. It's that your foundation is shaky. And if the foundation isn't solid, nothing you build on top of it lasts. So let's start with the first thing you need to focus on in 2026 if you're at zero. The first step is not investing. It's not crypto. It's not side hustles. It's control. Most people don't realize this, but the biggest stress in your finances isn't low income. It's unpredictability. Not knowing if your card will decline. Not knowing if one bad week will wipe you out. Not knowing where your money actually goes. So your first goal is simple. Make your money boring and predictable. That means you need a basic cash buffer before anything else. I'm not talking about a 6-month emergency fund. That advice scares people off. Your first target is 1 month of expenses. Just one. If your monthly expenses are $2,000, your first goal is $2,000. Not $20,000. Not $100,000. 1 month. Why does this matter? Because once you have that buffer, your brain relaxes. You stop making desperate decisions. You stop using credit cards for emergencies. Here's the mistake most people make. They try to save and invest at the same time with no buffer. So every time something goes wrong, they undo their progress. What actually works is focusing on one boring goal at a time. How do you build that buffer if you're starting from zero? You don't do it by cutting everything fun out of your life. That never lasts. You do it by finding leaks. Most beginners don't have a spending problem. They have invisible spending. Subscriptions they forgot about. Eating out because they're too tired to cook. Small charges that don't feel big individually but add up fast. Your job isn't to become extreme. It's to become aware. Once you've got that 1 month buffer, then you move to the second step. This is where people get uncomfortable. You need to deal with bad debt. Not all debt is evil. But high-interest debt is a wealth killer. Credit cards charging 20% interest don't care about your goals. They quietly steal your future. Here's the mindset shift. Paying off high-interest debt is a guaranteed return. If your credit card is charging 24%, paying it down is like earning 24% risk-free. That's better than any investment you'll find. The mistake people make here is trying to be balanced. They invest a little, save a little, pay debt a little. That feels productive, but it's slow. What actually works is focus. You attack the highest interest debt aggressively while maintaining your basic buffer. No shame. No guilt. Just math. Now, around this point, people usually ask, but what about investing? Aren't I missing out? Here's where most people mess up. They rush into investing before their income and cash flow are stable. Then they panic when markets drop or money gets tight. Investing works best when you're not emotionally dependent on the money. So the third step is about building stability, not chasing returns. That means increasing your margin. Margin is the gap between what you earn and what you need to survive. The bigger the margin, the faster wealth becomes possible. For most beginners, the fastest way to increase margin isn't cutting more. It's earning slightly more. Not by quitting your job. Not by becoming an entrepreneur overnight. But by increasing your income in realistic ways. Negotiating pay. Adding a part-time income stream. Learning a skill that pays more per hour. Here's the key. You don't need a massive jump. You need consistency. An extra $300 to $500 a month changes everything when you're starting out. That money becomes your tool. It speeds up debt payoff. It accelerates savings. It gives you breathing room. Now listen closely because this next part is where most people mess up. They finally start making progress, and then they raise their lifestyle too fast. New income turns into new expenses. And suddenly, they're stuck again. What actually works is a delay. When your income goes up, you freeze your lifestyle for 6 months. Just 6. Let the extra money do its job first. This is how you break the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Once your buffer is solid, your high-interest debt is under control, and your margin is growing, then you're ready for step 4. This is where investing finally makes sense. And I'm going to keep this simple. You don't need fancy strategies. You don't need to beat the market. For beginners, the goal of investing isn't to get rich fast. It's to participate. Low-cost, diversified investments. Consistent contributions. Long-term thinking. The biggest mistake beginners make is waiting for the perfect time. They think they need more money, more knowledge, more confidence. But investing rewards action, not perfection. Start small. Automate it. Let time do the heavy lifting. Now, let's do a quick reality check. This is not a one-year transformation. Anyone telling you that is lying. If you're starting from zero, a realistic timeline looks like this. The first year is about stability and control, not wealth. Years 2 to 3 are about momentum, debt shrinking, savings growing, confidence building. Years 4 and beyond are where wealth actually starts to feel real. That might sound slow, but compare it to doing nothing and staying stuck. Also, here's what not to do. Don't chase trends. Don't copy someone else's lifestyle. Don't invest money you'll need next year. Don't beat yourself up for past mistakes. Shame doesn't build wealth. Consistency does. So what's the one thing you should do today? Just one. Figure out your monthly number. How much it actually costs you to live for 1 month. Not guesses. Not vibes. That number becomes your anchor. It tells you what to save, what to protect, what to grow beyond. Once you know that number, everything else gets clearer. If you're building wealth from zero and you want clear, realistic guidance without the hype, subscribe. This channel is your roadmap from zero to wealth.